You know those ancient legends, the ones about colossal sea monsters lurking in the deep? What if they weren't just myths? What if they were, well, basically true? And what if, just by trying to learn more about our world, we accidentally woke one up? Today we're diving deep, really deep, into a pretty chilling series of events. It all unfolded way beneath the Arctic ice. It's a story where science, maybe inadvertently, unleashed a nightmare, and it put a whole submarine crew right between survival and, well, something ancient and incredibly powerful.
And you really have to picture the setting here. The Arctic, it's not just remote, it's one of the toughest, most unforgiving places on Earth. I mean, the scale of it, the ice, the crushing pressure of the depths, the sheer isolation, it's a world away. So when humans pioneer places like that, whether it's for science or, other reasons, you're messing with a very delicate balance. It can be really volatile. This deep dive, it really gets into what happens when that balance gets disturbed. It's more than just the story. It's about facing the unknown, isn't it?
Absolutely. It really is. And what you're about to hear, it's packed with suspense. It starts with that very human drive, to discover. But it ends up being this ultimate test of survival, of sheer resilience against something, well, almost unimaginable. So, yeah, prepare yourself. This is going to be quite a journey into the abyss, a real deep dive into what people do when facing the absolute extreme.
Okay, so let's set the scene. It begins with two scientists, Julia and Oscar. They're out in the middle of this vast, frozen Arctic wilderness. They're doing what seemed like pretty routine seismic research. Basically, they're setting these underwater charges, carefully placed.
Right, a standard procedure, you'd think. Generate some acoustic pulses, map the seabed geology, like a big, sophisticated sonar system, essentially, trying to see what's hidden under all that ice and water.
Exactly. But this is where things immediately go off the rails. As soon as those charges detonate, their scanners don't just show geology, they go completely wild. Just haywire, readings that make no sense. And it wasn't just the scanners. The ground itself, the ice, starts shaking violently. We're not talking minor tremors here. Massive cracks, spider web across the surface. It felt less like an earthquake and more like, like something huge was stirring down below, waking up.
And it wasn't just local. At the exact same time, there's a Russian submarine nearby. Their sensors pick up what they log as intense biological noise. Like off the charts, loud, complex sound. Nothing they'd ever encountered.
Suggesting something massive, right? Maybe even communicating.
Could be. But before they could analyze it, bam, the sub is hit hard, struck by something totally unseen in the water, sent reeling.
Wow. Enough force to seriously damage a military submarine. That's significant.
Absolutely. And back on the surface, chaos. Julia and Oscar barely make it. They scramble onto their snowmobile just as the ice under their camp literally buckles upwards.
Yeah.
And then the whole camp just explodes. A huge blast.
Yeah. And their last message, the one they radioed out, chilling. They said, "The ocean is awakening, and it's angry."
Yeah.
That's not just dramatic flair, It speaks to this feeling of the environment itself pushing back violently. When you poke the unknown, sometimes it pokes back hard.
So the immediate aftermath is predictably intense. Russia scrambles a rescue submarine, a top-of-the-line vessel. Their mission, find survivors from that first sub, if possible. And on board this rescue sub, we meet Victor.
Ah, Victor. His personal stake is just immense. His own brother was the captain of the submarine that just vanished.
Exactly. And commanding the mission is Admiral Olshansky, a real hardened veteran, seen it all, done it all in the deep sea, or so we thought. Even he wasn't ready for this.
You can just imagine the tension on that rescue sub. It must have been electric. Every single choice they make is loaded with risk. The sea conditions are terrible, the ice is unstable, and crucially, they have no idea what attacked the first sub. None. They're basically sailing blind into a kill zone, potentially. That's immense psychological weight on the commanders. Every ping, every shudder could be it.
Meanwhile, remember Julia and Oscar, the scientists. They're fighting their way through a brutal blizzard on the surface, cut off, exposed. Things look really bleak. And then they literally stumble upon something, an emergency buoy, just frozen solid into the ice pack.
A small miracle, really. A tiny signal of hope in all that chaos. A possible link back to the world, or at least to anyone else out there.
So Victor's rescue sub picks up that faint signal from the buoy. They dive. And as they're descending into these freezing depths, something really weird starts happening. Whales, huge whales, start showing up out of nowhere. They begin surrounding the submarine, acting, well, not like normal whales.
Right. It's almost like they're drawn to the sub. Or maybe they're fleeing something else. It's a major anomaly. And then it gets even stranger when they turn on the sonar.
Yeah, the moment they activate the main sonar system.
Yeah.
The whales panic. scatter everywhere.
Which makes sense. Powerful sonar can distress them, but then
They come back, almost like they have to watch or warn them. It's incredibly eerie.
that behavior is a huge red flag. It tells you something fundamental is wrong in that ecosystem. Something is disrupting the deepest instincts of these massive creatures. It points to a threat beyond, normal predators.
And this is the moment. No warning. Just boom. A gigantic tentacle erupts from the darkness below, moving impossibly fast. It grabs one of those huge whales.
Oh, man.
And just crushes it. Pulverizes it.
The sheer power. Unimaginable. Effortless.
You can bet there was panic on that sub. Total panic.
And the sonar confirms their worst fears. It wasn't just a tentacle. The screen shows something enormous closing in. The scale is just off the charts. Bigger than anything known. And the chilling part, even after seeing that, after that brutal display of power, they still don't know what it is. It defies classification. That unknown factor just ramps up the fear, doesn't it? Shows how little we really know about the deep.
Absolutely. And this thing, this Kraken, as they start calling it, it attacks immediately. A full-on assault on Victor's submarine. Throws the sub around like a toy, just tossing it through the water. Fires break out all over. Systems start failing left and right. Men are injured. It's chaos, pure chaos.
And in that kind of extreme pressure, that absolute terror, leadership can falter. Victor's command is questioned for a moment. It's natural, that fight or flight kicking in, but he pulls it back together. Reasserts control amidst the mayhem. They fire torpedoes. They score direct hits.
It does nothing. The hits land explosions, but it doesn't kill it. Someone screams over the comms. It's still moving.
Unbelievable. Imagine that feeling. Your best weapons. Useless. It changes the whole game. This isn't naval warfare anymore. It's something else entirely.
They somehow manage to slip away. A near miss. The Kraken slides past, but they're heavily damaged. Fires are still burning. The hull pressure is critical. They have to make a horrific choice. Seal off one compartment, trap men inside to save the rest.
A terrible decision, but sometimes necessary in those extreme submarine situations. Their only chance now is to go completely silent. Shut everything down, silent mode, just drift and hope. Hope this thing can't find them without active systems running, relying on training, and maybe a lot of luck.
Okay, so with the rescue sub crippled and hiding, the focus shifts. Back to Julia, but her scientific mind is working. She starts piecing things together. The timing, the location, and this horrible realization dawns on her. Her seismic charges, her experiment.
Must have been what woke it up, yeah. From who knows how long a slumber. That's a heavy burden to carry. But her analysis doesn't stop there.
No, she does something brilliant. She starts mapping all the locations, the initial disturbance, the attack on the first sub, the attack on the rescue sub.
And she finds it, doesn't she? A pattern. These attacks aren't random. They seem to radiate outwards, suggesting a central point, a kind of layer.
Exactly, a layer. Which raises a huge question. What kind of creature has a lair like that? So strategically located. What does that imply about it? Intelligence. Territoriality.
It adds another layer of complexity to the mystery. Meanwhile, on Victor's sub.
Right. Amidst the damage control and the fear, they're reviewing recordings recovered from the first sub, the lost one. And they find something. Faint. Almost missed it. A sound.
Like metal tapping.
Yes. A rhythmic metal knocking sound. Hidden in the background noise.
Could it be survivors? Still alive down there.
There's a tiny shred of hope, but it changes everything.
Absolutely transforms the mission again. From pure survival to maybe rescue is still possible. But the risk is almost unthinkable now. They know what's down there. And yet, the possibility of saving lives, especially Victor's brother, that overrides the fear. It leads to Victor's decision. An incredibly courageous, maybe reckless choice.
But going back in.
Just incredibly brave, or maybe desperate.
So Victor doesn't risk the main sub again. He goes alone. In a small, specialized mini-sub, descending into this dark, endless trench. Can you imagine, alone, heading straight into the monster's presumed territory?
The psychological pressure must have been immense, just darkness, pressure, and the knowledge of what lurks there.
And down there, in the abyss, he finds it. It's like a graveyard. Wrecks of old ships scattered everywhere, eerie.
Silent monuments to past encounters, perhaps? Or just the sea's toll?
And then he sees it, the missing submarine, his brother's sub. He manages to dock, gets inside, and finds survivors.
Yeah.
Including his brother, alive.
Wow. That moment of reunion, after everything, must have been overwhelming. Just pure human connection in the deepest, darkest place imaginable.
Incredibly emotional. But they're not safe yet. Not by a long shot. Part of the original mission, unbelievably, still stands. They need to retrieve nuclear weapons from the sunken sub.
As if things weren't complicated enough. A recovery operation right next to the Kraken's lair with damaged equipment.
And the moment they start powering up, the systems needed for the retrieval,
Oh no, don't tell me.
the Kraken's tracker on their sub lights up again. It detected the power surge.
It knows they're there. And it's coming back.
Fast. The brief sense of hope.
Yeah.
Gone. The final fight is on.
Talk about timing. Just when they find the survivors, the monster returns. Relentless.
And it's brutal. Water is flooding the wreck. Those tentacles are crushing the hull like a tin can. Victor and his brother are scrambling inside this collapsing wreck, trying desperately to activate some kind of new, powerful weapon. Their last hope.
A final gamble. And it works.
Spectacularly. They trigger it. The Kraken is just blown apart.
A massive underwater explosion. So powerful, the light supposedly shoots up through the Arctic ice. A visible flash on the surface.
Incredible, right? A desperate measure, likely some kind of advanced sonic or energy weapon, finally does the job.
A testament to last-ditch ingenuity, I suppose. Born from sheer terror.
But even with the Kraken gone, they're not safe. The wreck is imploding around them.
Right.
They race for Victor's mini-sub, their only escape route.
Oh.
It's stuck, jammed in the wreckage somehow.
No, after all that. Trapped.
The pressure's building, the wreck is collapsing. It looks like the end.
But Victor, at the very last second, he finds the emergency release lever.
He pulls it hard.
And they launch.
They shoot free just as the entire wreck implodes behind them, this huge eruption of water and debris.
Wow. Wow. Escaping by the skin of their teeth. Unbelievable resolve.
So what's the takeaway from all this? The mini-sub breaks the surface. Cheers.
Yeah.
Relief.
Yeah.
Victor and his brother are alive against truly impossible odds. And there's this really poignant moment. Victor has their father's watch. He tries to give it back to his brother, who carried it down initially.
Like passing back the symbol of responsibility or luck?
Right. But his brother refuses. He just says, no, you've earned it.
Acknowledging Victor's leadership, his sacrifice, everything he went through down there. Powerful stuff.
It really is.
And looking at the bigger picture, this whole terrifying ordeal, it's not just about survival or family bonds, those are central. It fundamentally challenges our perception of the deep ocean. What's really down there. This deep dive makes you confront the potential consequences, of pushing into these last unknown frontiers on Earth, disturbing things that have been left alone for millennia. It's a stark reminder, really. Maybe some depths are best left unexplored.
Definitely leaves you thinking. Our oceans, they cover most of our planet, but we know so little about the true depths. What else could be down there? What wonders? Or, like in this case, what ancient terrors? Still waiting, perhaps, to be accidentally disturbed by us. Makes you ask yourself, doesn't it? What would you do if you came face to face with a real-life Kraken?